episode of Delta Polymers. Today, what we're going to illustrate is something that is actually very basic, something that is most commonly done, and that is just basic, simple repairs on wood. Now, this can be transformed, and this method, really to anything, from decking to boating to household applications like doing repairs on doors, floors. It makes absolutely no difference. So what we're going to do in essence is the first method that we do is a pour method. We're going to pour the epoxy into these holes and fill these holes, then give it a final coat, and then we're going to show you exactly how to use our gel epoxy on a piece of wood that is basically utterly destroyed. Now, this is something that I personally used on a piece of wood on the corner of my deck and was able to reconstruct it without having to rip up the whole board and go through that whole process. So what we'll do right now is we're going to start off with just doing the simple fill method. We've mixed the material 2-to-1, and now what he's going to do is just simply pour the product in these holes to fill them. And what's actually happening, and you'll notice it start to happen, is the wood is going to absorb this epoxy. What that means actually is that it's working because it's deep penetrating, which it's then going to harden and form a complete waterproof barrier. So the first step is going to be, we're going to fill in all these little tiny holes, and then we're going to brush and paint over a top coat. Now tomorrow, when we come back, it's going to be ready for our second coat, which is going to give us a nice level build that you've all seen time after time and time again. The absorption is totally normal. A lot of people get nervous when they see that, and what happens sometimes in this case is bubbles may start to form. Now, if those bubbles form, it's totally natural. What that means is really just that the air is coming out. However, after about a half hour or 40 minutes, those air bubbles may not be able to release because the material is curing. Now, if that's the case, in some instances, now you can go ahead and hit them off with a torch. However, if you use this method that we're showing you with our epoxy, one of the most beautiful things about it is absolutely certifiably no bubbling. And now he's going to begin to just apply a very thin layer of epoxy on top. The way to look at this and the way to think of this is as a priming layer, so that now tomorrow when we come back, everything's going to be sealed up nice and tight, and that's what's going to now enable us on our second coat to develop that beautiful build that we're looking for. But it's amazing how this stuff can make something like a dirty old pallet look. And as you can see, when he pours it on thick, but not too thick. You don't want to mess all over the place either. So really, you're just working nicely and slow. Take your time and pour a little bit out at a time, and the job just goes that much smoother and, more importantly, cleaner. Excellent. What we're going to demonstrate right now is actually the reconstruction of a piece of board by simply using our gel epoxy. We've mixed this material 2-to-1, and as you can see, it's very thick, almost like peanut butter. So now you can do this with a spatula, you can use a butter knife, you can use a trowel, whatever you feel comfortable working with. You're simply going to apply the gel, then you're going to simply smooth it out, and then tomorrow after it dries, we're going to come back and sand it off. Now what he's doing here with this liquid is this is saline solution. You're just going to put a little bit of this on your trowel so that it slides a lot easier with the epoxy, and it basically just gives you a nice clean finish. It's a little secret of the trade. So always on your tools, put a little saline solution, and epoxies are going to slide a lot easier. Look how beautiful that looks. Now for all you guys out there that are into boats, now would be the time to go ahead and stick on your fiberglass. You stick on your fiberglass, you're gonna let all this cure, and then tomorrow you're gonna come back and then go ahead and top coat it. Now mind you, at this stage, it does not have to look 100% perfect. However, if you are going to make a mistake, you want to fall short on the aggressive side, because anything that you do can always be sanded down. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. And that's how you reconstruct the corner, using gel epoxy on an old, busted board that you would normally just rip up and throw away. So within a matter of literally less than 5 minutes, we've sanded this down, we've mixed the epoxy, we've applied the material, we molded it. Now tomorrow we're going to come back, lightly sand, and it's ready for paint.